Alright, let's do this. Here's the Professor Xavier stage. We'll start with G19 as always. And for this, it's usually pretty simple. Their love, yeah. They recently they reunited in the comics, so yeah. Uh, yep, I think yeah, an evil Xavier. That's a costume, and by the way, that I don't have. So for Cosmic, yeah, I'm just gonna go with Annihilators. Keep him here and Mephisto. These guys should make quick work of it. Now, yeah, from what I've been told, the Annihilators are really what carries the three-piece Annihilator team. They're what carry this at least the villain sections. So yeah, let's have Gladiator. So yeah, that's the benefit of having 3 diamonds. Get that battlefield effect going. I actually know someone in my alliance who used Ravager Stitcher because he was really cheap to bring in. And he did that during when it was still a race. So apparently he made it through. So that's something to think about if you're trying to be economical. All right. Yeah, I would still say training mats are a bigger bottleneck than gold, at least at this time. It always seems to fluctuate with this game. There are periods where gold is really scarce, but training mats aren't, and vice versa. I think since the level cap increase, um, yeah, there has been whenever there's a level cap increase, there is always going to be a bit of a crunch for training mats. So something to keep in mind because usually the level cap increases every 1 year to 18 months, kind of depends. And since Xavier is a mythic character, you know he's going to be costly to max out, both in terms of gold, training mats, and gear. But characters like him are usually worth it. Okay, so with these two, what you want to do is hit him with an exhaust. Plus, Gore is kind of he's the anti-charge. He's an anti-charge character. Yeah, and Gladiator, he's not the best as good a tank as he used to be, but he's still a really good pre-taunt. Awesome. All right, so let's get the exposed. Yeah, that exposed mechanic That's something that I've noticed that's a lot of other characters have been utilizing. Okay, so again, Odin's kind of carrying this, and from what I've heard, he makes the hero cosmic section much easier. He's expensive, but worth it. He's useful in almost every game mode, so you are very justified in maxing him out. Here we go. Xavier versus Evil Xavier, which usually is a prelude to Onslaught. Although, if he's coming to this game, he's probably going to be a Dark Dimension character. I don't know if that's coming. I know Annihilus is. I think he's going to be the next big mythic, but yeah, I think at some point Onslaught's going to come to this game. Yeah, Rocket, gotta love that attitude. Let's get exposed so that endgame Thanos can make use of his passive. So again, that is a 3-diamond gore with that kind of damage. All right. Got more training orbs. Can never have too many of those. All right. Facing down Evil Xavier. uh, Thing's attitude is going to become a lot more endearing after the new Fantastic Four movie. Of that, I am certain. Let's do splash damage. Just get that battlefield effect going. Yeah, that kind of tankiness goes a long way. I've always had Gladiator as a fortifier, but I have seen some people have him as a healer as well, and that works That works good in some instances, but I think for this, I'm going to keep him as a. I'll keep him as a fortifier unless uh, healing is more important than tank or tankiness. Okay. All right. Oh, gold and some T4s. Certainly going to need those. Imcran Crystal. If you've seen the original X-Men animated series or read the comics, you know why that is a important item. And the Starjammers are on their way. Alright, so this is the last of the G19 section, so yeah. These are all the diamonds I bought start to show their value. Yeah. They definitely make a difference. I know free to play, it's harder for free to play players. I do spend, but I'm not a whale or kraken. If I were, I would have unlocked Xavier much sooner. Alright, let's finish this off. Alright. Here we go. There's still evil Xavier. You got it. I think you do. Oh, there's the guy behind it, Mephisto. Alright, I'll take that. Definitely need the gold. Alright, now it's time to see if my investments in cosmic villains will pay off. Unlocked. Here we go. So again, Dark Xavier. And Mephisto made a deal. You do not go into Mephisto's mind, ever. So yeah, here's what I've got. My hope is, Mordo, since his rework, he's mostly all stats. Now, I don't know if I might have to change his ISO, but in fact, let me do that right now. Let me change his ISO to Striker. Because his basic does cause some negative effects, and that might come in handy. Okay. Since I got a lot of raiders on my team, hopefully that striker mechanic will pop off. Okay. Now let's see if this... I already saw this. Okay. Alright. Again, hopefully the 3-piece Annihilator team can do most of this. I know some people who were able to do this with only 2 Annihilators. So, but we'll see how difficult it is with 3. I need to 3-star this, so that means I can't lose anyone. That's all right. Gladiator's got to be the tank. Let's get us summons, get rid of some. Yeah. All right, yeah. Carnage's passive here is going to help. Let's see if I can at least get the Nimrod down. Well, not all the way, but got the speed boost. Yeah, Carnage is kind of doing more work here, even as a summon. Actually, I'll save, yeah. So yeah, that basic is probably going to come in handy. All right. Let's do this again. Yeah. Yeah. Null is certainly doing a lot of heavy lifting here, but it's the boss node that's where the real test is going to be. The first two nodes of the Xavier, of each stage of the Xavier Saga is usually pretty easy. Again, the typical team is kind of what I have here, except for Shadow King. But again, Shadow King is expensive to bring up. He's a great character, definitely someone you want to bring up eventually, but he's also expensive. So you can definitely see an increase in stats and gear here. So the key is making sure my whole team survives, and hopefully, um, if I, hopefully Gladiator can be the tank, but if I have to turn him into a healer, I will. All right. Yeah, get rid of the charges. That's why Gore is so important here. I need to get the summons. Yeah. Uh-oh. Need to get this first for the heals. All right, let's just use the... Still stuck behind the lizard taunt. And I've got ability blocked too from... Let me see if I can at least get these charges off of... Still stuck behind a taunt. That's helpful. these Havocs. They're doing too much damage. Come on, Alright, let's see how much damage this can do. Alright, there's one Havoc, finally. Yeah, Gore's definitely showing his worth in this stage. Yeah, I can definitely feel the difficulty a little higher this time. Yeah. Alright, that's 2 down. If nothing else, that stage should have shown that investing in diamonds for the Annihilators is definitely a good investment. All right, Kahori's going to be a problem in this one. So was Miss Marvel Classic. Let's go. All right, 2 Kahoris. See if I can tank their opening attacks. All right, let's get these charges off everyone. All right, now let's get Carnage summoned. Let's hit everyone with this one. Get the battlefield effect. Oh, good. Yeah. The ability block helps. Alright, she helped that. That should take care of Kahori. Gotta get the ability block here on at least one of the genes. Okay. Come on. Another Kahori, of course. Still stuck behind a taunt. It's a common. It seems to be a common theme. All right, let's get all the debuffs off. Stun the Kahori. Yep, I could definitely say Null is really showing his value here. It's okay. I think at this point they're cooked. Yeah, that stun is still useful. Mordo's rework has made him a very useful character. Okay. That was actually easier than the previous node. I hope that didn't just jinx how the next node's going to go. Oh, we got, see, Blade and Oath. That's always a problem. All right. Be gone. No one says that anymore. Feels like that's a word that should come back. Ah. Dormammu. I think Endgame Thanos hasn't had to trigger his passive yet, which is surprising. Maybe that, yeah. Hope I didn't just jinx that either. So, charges. So yeah, this is where Gore has to do his thing. Get rid of all these charges. That is his best asset. And I gotta focus on Blade here if I can. I know the taunt is going to make that difficult. That looks like, yeah. Up here, looks like that on-game Thanos' passive might get triggered. Here it comes. That was useful. Now let's get the battlefield effect going. It's not. Yeah, without Blade, she's Oath is not very useful. Let's see if the stun lands. Oh, it landed. Got to figure out. Ah, crap! Still stuck behind a taunt. Stun him, or stun or ability block. Okay, yeah. So without Blade or Icarus, yeah, they're fairly neutralized. All right, one more to go. So this team has done its job so far. I know Mordo's a little is not the typical strategy, but see if he can hang in there just for this final node. Boss node is always tricky. So, and I'm pretty yeah. So All right, let's do this. Okay. Okay. Last one. You're just hoping that Null can carry, do most of the heavy lifting here. Null and Gore because of the charges. So yeah, right now I would say the most important characters are Null and Gore, because of all so many of these characters I've faced rely heavily on their charges, and without and Null and Gore is specifically he's specifically meant to counter these charges. All right, so it's a lot, getting a lot of. Now I gotta get these charges off. Yeah, the double gambits are going to be a problem. Let me see, and I can't hit any of them right now. So I'll try to at least hit the get the Nightcrawler. All right, so that should give me some speed boost. It's like Mordo might not be able to handle it. All right, now let's see if I can at least get one of these gambits down. Let me see. I can get the speed boost here. Keep getting stuck behind taunts. Seems to be the common issue here. Another stuck behind another taunt. Go figure. All right, now let's see. This pass. This. Okay, that passive did a lot of the work for me there. All right, this bit. I think this is going to work, folks. Go for it, endgame Thanos. Let's hit him again. And that's it, folks. That was much. Got a little hairy there with the gambits, but yeah. So yeah, this team worked. Okay. Okay, folks. So yeah, that was the Cosmic Villain section. That's part one. Whenever I get around to completing my Hero Cosmic team. I'll do part two and I'll post that. So thanks.